sorted out is the message. Thank you very much. In 3 minutes, the uproar over a women's-only travel company. Does it discriminate against men?
But now, as you've seen in the news, independent Senator Nick Xenophon has used the cover of parliamentary privilege to launch a scathing attack on the Church of Scientology. Speaking in the Senate, which protects him from defamation, Xenophon raised allegations of widespread criminal conduct within the Church.
Scientology is not a religious organisation. It is a criminal organisation that hides behind its so-called religious beliefs. There are allegations of false imprisonment, coerced abortions, and embezzlement of church funds, of physical violence and intimidation, blackmail and the widespread and deliberate abuse of information obtained by the organisation. It is alleged that information about suspicious deaths and child abuse has been destroyed, and one follower has admitted that he was coerced by the organisation into perjuring himself during investigations into the deaths of his 2 daughters. These victims of Scientology claim it is an abusive, manipulative, violent and criminal organisation, and that criminality is condoned at the highest levels. These victims of Scientology have spoken out at considerable personal risk, and I commend them for that. And I would encourage other victims of Scientology to come forward, contact the police, contact my office, but most importantly, speak out. I say to all Australians, as you fill in your tax return next July or August, ask yourself, how do you feel knowing that you're paying tax, yet this criminal organisation is not? Do you want Australian tax exemptions to be supporting an organisation that coerces its followers into having abortions? Do you want to be supporting an organisation that defrauds, that blackmails, that falsely imprisons? Because on the balance of evidence provided by victims of Scientology, you probably are.
Can anyone tell me where all the senators are? Strong words from him there, and he's calling for a Senate inquiry. It's a shame hardly anyone was there to see it, but the message has got out anyway. He's calling for an inquiry into the religion and its tax-exempt status. Now, not surprisingly, the Church of Scientology has responded, and I'll read their quote this morning. "This is an outrageous abuse of parliamentary privilege from a senator who would not even meet with church representatives several months ago to discuss his concerns. Senator Xenophon is obviously being pressured by disgruntled former members who use hate speech and distorted accounts of their experiences in the church. They're about as reliable as former spouses are when talking about their ex-partner. Senator Xenophon's attempt to marginalise Scientologists by saying that they should not be believed is, and I'm quoting here, fascistic and violates freedom of speech and the right to religious beliefs. It is former members or apostates that are notoriously unreliable as witnesses. This is a propaganda campaign, and if the Church of Scientology continues, that would suit a totalitarian regime, not Australia, a country that recognises freedom of religion," end quote. All right, what do you think about that? Today at 9.com.au, that is a big story today. And as quick as that announcement came out, or that speech came out, doing the rounds all of a sudden on our websites here in Australia this morning is the Tom Cruise impersonation. It's a transition, let me tell you, but it is very funny. Take a look.
This hero, this dragonfly, he's not the answer. Okay, I'm the answer. I'm just, you know, I'm the way to happiness. Okay, I'm the way to peace. I can unite cultures. I can eat planets. I mean, I can just, Dragonfly's not a superhero, okay? I am. Because I can't even fly. I can fly, okay? I can fly.
That is genius.
It is very good.
As impersonations go, they don't get any closer than that.
It's all good.
Yeah. Well, you've been sending us hundreds of emails this morning about this women's-only travel company that's been banned from advertising because they say that it discriminates against men.
Now, a judge...
I look at these ranging from blackmail to physical violence, coerced abortions of church members. He even said that many of the church members in the Church of Scientology embezzled funds and that they deliberately cover up information about the organisation. Now, Senator Xenophon made these startling claims in Parliament last night, as you say, and he did that very deliberately with the protection of parliamentary privilege. Let's take a listen to what he said in the Senate last night.
There are allegations of false imprisonment, coerced abortions and embezzlement of church funds, of physical violence and intimidation, blackmail and the widespread and deliberate abuse of information obtained by the organisation.
OK, these are fairly strong allegations, aren't they? How damaging could they be, Andrew?
Potentially, Kylie, these could be very, very damaging. There'll be now calls for a Senate inquiry, which Senator Xenophon has made, but he's also referred this information that members of the church have passed on to him, he's referred that on to the police for them to look into as potential breaches of several crimes. Now, he's also asked for a Senate inquiry, and we'll have to see whether that gets any support from other members of Parliament. But I wouldn't be surprised if these allegations do make world headlines, because they are incredibly serious.
Yeah, Andrew, speaking of other MPs, any reaction from them?
Look, today many were very reluctant to talk as they arrived in Parliament. A lot of them just wanted to steer a million miles away from it. We did, however, manage to speak to the Greens leader, and he indicated that he would support this inquiry. He wants it expanded to look at a whole number of organisations that enjoy tax-free exemptions in Australia. But one person who's pretty much summed up the reaction from most of the politicians was the National Senator Barnaby Joyce. He basically admitted he knew nothing about the Church of Scientology.
The trouble is I don't know much about Scientology at all. Some bloke who arrived in a spaceship and something about Johnny Travolta and Tom Cruise and jumping on couches and all that sort of rubbish. I don't know. It's their religion, but I don't think I'll be joining it.
All righty. Andrew, thanks for your time this morning. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Larry.
OK.
We're joined now on the phone by Cyrus Brooks, who is from the Church of Scientology. Cyrus, good morning. What's been your response to Senator Xenophon's claims?
Oh, it's a gross abuse of parliamentary privilege from a senator who would not even meet with the church representatives several months ago to discuss his concerns. It's a bit disingenuous, considering he was written by dozens of Scientologists. He did not respond to a single person, and has even gone to the length of saying that Scientologists themselves shouldn't be believed because they're a member of this group. So he's asking you not to even listen to any Scientologist. And he's trying to marginalize tens of thousands of Scientologists who have benefited from Scientology. And he's obviously been pressured by disgruntled former members who use hate speech and distorted accounts of their past experiences.
Sure, but do you refute the claims?
The claims are outrageous and disgusting, and we'll be responding to them in full. Unfortunately, Senator Xenophon has chosen not to supply us with copies of the claims, so we're in process of getting the claims that were tabled in Parliament.
Cyrus, we called Senator Xenophon this morning. Now, he's not doing any media today, but he did deny that he's been asked to meet with representatives from the Church of Scientology. So we've got a bit of a he said going on here. What do you say to that?
I'd say that, you know, for him not to respond to a single letter, not to even call us or come in, he's had for months that he hasn't even contacted us, shows that it's basically even the call for the Senate inquiry is a publicity stunt and completely uncalled for. We'll work with authorities. We're happy to answer any questions, you know, and it's just for him to do that and not contact us is a bit disingenuous.
Sure. Are these allegations being heard in churches of Scientology around the world?
You know, I actually don't know, but the Church of Scientology handles any complaints or any concerns and takes them very seriously, and we've always cooperated with authorities on anything that we've needed to. I mean, the fact is that the Church of Scientology is very open and has always been open. And like I said, for the senator not to even call us, you know, it's just a bit disingenuous. We talk about Scientology as a religion, and he's made other claims, and he's attacked us in this regard. I mean, the 1983 High Court decision in Australia declared Scientology was a bona fide religion, and that was a unanimous decision by the full bench of the High Court, and that decision is considered by leading scholars and judicial authorities to have established the standards regarding religious recognition that all religions must meet. So there's really, I mean, basically, we're just going to continue to, operate as the Church of Scientology, and we have a lot of social work, and we're going to keep on doing those while we continue as well to handle any complaints or any upsets by former members or current members.
All right, Cyrus, we're making plenty of headlines around here, so we'll watch this episode closely. Thanks for your time this morning.